And we are live. Welcome, welcome. This is Kimmy here, and we have
Beautiful.
our lovely guest, Zay Pierre of ZP
Hello.
the I Am. And we are here today all about a self-healing journey. I'm gonna
Beautiful.
I'm gonna find us and share.
As am I.
Now, let's see, where are we? There we are. Oh, lower that. This is Kimmy here. Alrighty. It's in Rainbow Journey, so you can share from there.
Okay, awesome. Yes, I see. Yes. And
Hi, Ada. Welcome, welcome.
hi, Ada. Okay, I think I am good. Uh, Beautiful. Okay, I am
You
back.
awesome. I'm still sharing, so bear with me for a minute.
Sounds good. Want to say thank you all to everybody who's joined us today. Anybody who's coming in on the live later, I'm excited to just have this connection with Kimmy and talk healing, which has been a big focal point in my life recently. So hopefully this time together, the space we create, will be of value to everybody who tunes in. Right? Thank you, Kimmy, for having me on the platform and letting me hang out with everybody in the rainbow journey and with you.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. I've known you through Facebook for about 4 years.
Yeah.
4 years, yeah. But I really don't know much about you
Okay.
or about your healing journey, except for little snippets that I've seen here and there.
Mm,
Let
yeah.
me, let me finish this because talking and sharing at the same time doesn't work.
Yeah, that gets a little difficult. That can be a little difficult.
Okay. If I accidentally share this out to somebody's group that I am not supposed to, please forgive me.
Well, hopefully they'll be monitoring their stuff. Everybody's, I'm pretty sure, taking a
Yeah,
break.
I
Trying to
have
stay.
done that. I have not paying attention. I've sent it to other places and then got like little notices.
Yeah, that happens sometimes though. Don't stress it too much. That will add to more need for healing.
Yes. There we go.
So who's here? Hi Ada. Hi C. Just jumped in the chats.
Hey, Megan. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you, Ada. Hello, Linda.
Hey, Linda. Welcome. Okay. I think I've gotten everybody. Yes, I have.
Nice.
Let's make sure that's down. And we will do. And there we go. Sorry, it takes me so long. I'm a little bit slow moving, but it's all good.
I'm pretty slow moving myself, actually.
Hi,
So I can
Shannon.
relate. I can relate.
Welcome, welcome. So
Hey,
thank
Shannon.
we want to thank you all for coming and supporting us. This is the second episode of a self healing journey, and today we have Zay Pierre with us, and he is going to um, talk about his self healing journey.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Thank you for having me, Kimmy. I mean, I'm looking forward to the conversation.
Absolutely. So, wherever you feel comfortable starting.
Um, yes, I was born with a condition called sickle cell, and it is not widely known, I suppose, although it is not uncommon. Um, but it's a blood disease that affects primarily Black people. There are variations of the disease that affect other peoples of different descents, like Mediterranean people will have will deal with something called thalassemia, and some other variations, right? So I was born with this disease, and it comes with it's a disability, um, but it's considered a like an invisible disability. So I can pass pretty well, but
Right.
throughout my entire life, like I'll go 3 months without the ability to walk. I'll go like I just getting over healing my eye. I was blind in my right eye for like the last since January, and
Right.
so it's like I can present well, and I for the most part am blessed because I just lived a blessed life, even with this particular cross that I carry. Um, it's given me things in the journey, and it's allowed me to continue and prolong and live as healthy it is of an experience as possible, right? Um, but yeah, so that's where it starts. Just being born with this condition and going throughout life, dealing with and overcoming various complications. A lot of the stuff that I've gone through, like acute chest, pneumonia, hip, like I don't even want to start back train of thought of thinking about all the different things,
Yeah.
but it's been a journey. It's my journey. I'm blessed to walk my journey and persevere and continue to try to be a light, try to carry something positive forward. And just not even because it's like a calling or whatever, but because that's who I am. I believe that's who we all are when we can start to drop a lot of our shell, and that external part is like there's this is where the oneness will really come in, where there's this sense of oneness. There's a spark of divine in all of us that would find commonality, that would find union, communion, community, right? And
Right.
so my health, my healing journey has been part of my spiritual journey and has been part of just the person that I am and the light that I try to be in the world, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, without going into all those things that you don't want to rehash or bring back
I
up.
don't mind discussing it. I just I was about to go through a list of stuff, and it's like, well, do I really want to just call out a list of random things? Like, but yeah, I don't mind discussing any of it. I think there's been bits and pieces and stuff to learn in all parts of the journey. I do my work as far as facing those shadows, dealing with all that other stuff that comes up around it. So I don't mind exploring that or, or anything like that in this conversation.
Yeah. Um So recently, did you have a stroke?
Yeah, I had a stroke in last year. This time last year, actually, April 5th, um, which was actually my second stroke. My
Oh,
first stroke was kind of a bit of a platform or deep like a trigger for me to dive deep with my own connection to spirit and with that whole journey. Um, and this one hits. This is my second one, just last April's. I've been dealing with that and some other things throughout the year. Like I just said, coming off of having lost my vision for a couple of months,
right.
um, and here we are today. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So, oh, go ahead.
no, no. I was just gonna say it's definitely been a bit of a journey. Just that recovery process. Um, trying to be compassionate with oneself. This idea of like there's a lot of mental that goes with the physical, you know.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Um,
Yes.
and that all takes like some work.
I want to say hello to Gina and Deborah.
Hey Gina, hey Deborah, welcome.
Mary Ann, thank you for joining. Thank you, everybody for joining. So through these things that you've gone through, well, you've gone through this since birth, pretty much.
Hmm.
Um, um, um,
Yeah, definitely. I actually think that's probably my first memory. Like I remember being like about 2 or 3, crying with a fever, my mom in the car, and then being in the hospital cribs. And at those times, the cribs were like cages. They had bars
right,
everywhere. And I remember being in the cage yelling and screaming because I wanted to be out. And I guess I was delirious because, my mom was just like that whole time I was having fevers and um but that I think that's probably like my first memory now I think about
yeah, that would be traumatic to a 3-year old. Um, very traumatic, feeling caged in and wanting your mom.
Yeah.
I'm right now. I'm physically, mentally, spiritually working with the archetype of the hurt child, the
Hmm.
wounded child,
Hmm.
and um, I could see, where that would cause trauma in and of itself. Wanting your mom, wanting, to be with your mom, you're not feeling good and you're in a cage.
Hmm.
Um, I have some very traumatic memories of my own from that age, you know,
Hmm.
and I'm like getting like spirit goosebumps all over me here today with you. uh, yeah, so fast forward a little bit to now, because this is this has been a lifelong healing journey for you.
Yes.
And I know it wasn't easy. Um, by a long shot, it wasn't easy. It kind of makes mine look like a park, you know?
Well, what I mean, I really don't like I feel like comparison doesn't function or serve
Yeah,
any of
you're
us.
you're you're right.
And
You're right.
yeah, because we all are here to walk our own individual journeys.
Hmm.
These With these lessons and things that we're meant to pick up and learn and receive. And so our journeys are catered to us, and what's true for you is not necessarily true for um even the thought of trauma and traumatic. There's an argument there where it's like that could be traumatic for one, but it may not be traumatic for another. And depending on the life that's led, that could actually have been a norm. Like it's not so much traumatic as defined by that person,
Right,
although it may be traumatic in the context of others.
right. Or it may be traumatic at the person looking at it.
Right. Yes.
Right. Right.
Exactly. And each point of view is justified because you've had
Hmm.
your journey and you have your reasons for feeling that way. And I've had my journey and I've had my reasons for feeling my way. And we both have our perspectives on what our journeys have been. Right.
Yeah.
These are all just stories we're telling each.
Yeah.
Ultimately, we're
Yeah.
telling ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah. And the reason that I'm doing these little self-healing journeys is because um I feel that there are many different ways to self-heal.
Hmm.
Okay, I'm not dismissing by a long shot anybody that does healing.
Hmm.
I believe in that with my whole heart. I do.
Hmm.
Um, I'm not dismissing that at all, but some people's paths are not meant to be in touch with a hands on healer right now,
Hmm.
and therefore we have to go the individual route, whatever that entails. And
Hmm.
um, my feeling is that a lot of people um, just pretty much give up when they get a diagnosis, okay, and they don't think that
Hmm.
there's really anything that they can do about it themselves.
Hmm.
And this is
Yeah.
this is the reason why spirit pretty much whipped my butt to do these things, you know,
Mm.
and to do these little interviews, because other people do need to know that they're not alone
Hmm.
and that they can self heal.
Absolutely.
And it takes a
Absolutely.
little bit of work on our parts. Um, sometimes it's an everyday thing, you know?
It's always an everyday thing.
Yeah. And,
It's
and
always an everyday thing. I often say, like, like when you look at the different forms of healing throughout the world, right? Like, let's just say Eastern versus Western, right? And say, you know, uh, traditional Western medicine versus like, Eastern, like acupuncture, Reiki, all these other forms of non-traditional forms of healing. Um, and trying to attain which has more value or not, um, I believe should be integrated. Healing is healing, and we
yeah,
have to go according to ourselves. This is where I feel like that whole individual aspect that you mentioned it becomes so valuable because, like, we all have own physical bodies. Like, let's say all is one. God is in all, and God is connected through all of us. We're all connected to each other. We still have this physical incarnation's physical vessel, and each one is so unique and different and diverse. And we're all contained within these different environments, undergoing these different, just like an experiment. And so, although we are all one, this is part of the division, this is part of the separation, so we can have that experience that is life, right? Polarity, before. Um, so I really feel like when it comes with the healing, it's both traditional, non-traditional, um, and intuitive. You bring in the third because really it's the Trinity, and we get lost in this duality, but it's really the Trinity, right? This
right.
id, ego, super ego, the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, um, just all of that, just the Trinity. Um, so when you bring in that extra aspect of the intuition with your own healing, like your body, you are your primary caregiver. I don't care
Exactly.
what the doctors call themselves. And the doctors are experts, but you are the foremost expert on your own body, your own vessel. You know when you get up and you don't feel right. You know when you feel bloated or heavy or lethargic or something hurts more to move the way it today than it did previously. Like you know these things. You don't need a doctor to tell you that. And you know when something feels off. even if you can't put it to words or make it make sense to somebody else. You know it. And it's like sometimes it's okay to listen to that intuition that says, I'm gonna skip the meat today, or I'm gonna drink more water right now because I just feel so dry. Lips is chapped, skin is ash. Oh, I'm gonna, and following that, all of that is part of the healing process. All of that adds incrementally to the our overall health and wellness experience in life, right? So it's definitely a day-to-day mindful approach to it, but I feel like we want to integrate all these tools, all these resources, because they're here for us and they're here for a reason. And instead of conflicting and being like, no, this is better and that is better, I must go up here and say, I'm using both. I don't know, whatever. You take the time you want. I'm getting that and that. I'm getting acupuncture and I'm getting a blood transfusion. Whatever is needed within my vessel for me specifically in my journey.
Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. I totally agree with that. Totally agree with that. I feel in my heart that there are medications out here that can help people, and they should not have to feel guilty about taking them. There are
No.
techniques out here that can help people that they should not have to feel guilty about doing. And
I
if
do want to say with the medication thing, I do want to caution people, just like I said, your body, listen to your body with your medications as well. Because, like, this opioid epidemic, I myself struggle with that. And I don't struggle with it as though I would declare myself an addict. But I've had addiction in my family, and I know it's there in a cognitive level. So the doctors always prescribe me opioids for my pain meds, oxys, hydros, whatever. And
Mhm.
I have an overabundance of it. And so I really, even when I have them in my possession, strategize using them, stretching them out, using them as I need. But if I listen solely to the doctors, I'm popping them every 4 hours. And I know my body, like, I can't sit here and think clear mindedly with you or connect with spirit or do any of these other things in my life if I'm on, say, oxys every 4 hours for 24 hours straight. At a point, I get to a point where I'm just like, I want to die. I feel like death because I've got such an abundance of stuff in my body. So this is when that listening to our bodies becomes important as well, because there's nothing wrong with using it. You do what you got to do to get through it. You know what I'm saying? And the medicine that you do receive that's in your overall benefit and going to help you as part of the plan you've come up with your doctor,
Mhm.
then by all means do what you got to do and take your meds. But continue to listen to yourself as the foremost expert on your own body, in your own healing, and actually take note of what's happening throughout it, because you might have to make adjustments. You might have to say, I'm gonna pull back on this. Let me talk to my doctor and say, listen, that's not working for me. That's messing up my stomach. I don't really like taking it. You say it makes, and I've had those conversations with my doctors. I've done all these. So, but it's added sense of empowerment in my own healing, and it keeps my healing my own, as opposed to being a backseat driver. And I know you know this, like everybody has who deals with this stuff has had those experiences where you're kind of like the backseat driver as the doctor refers to other doctors, there's
I, I,
experts.
I'm, I'm the backseat driver. I went through addiction with my soulmate Dale that passed away. I went
Hmm.
through all the morphine and oxycodone and trying to get the doctors on board when he was totally out of it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I totally understand that part of it. I really do. And I was the backseat driver, and sometimes I had to bump into the front seat because it was
Yeah,
just
you got
it
to
was
advocate for yourself. You got
it
to
was
speak
just
up
too
for your.
much. Yeah, it was
Absolutely.
yeah. Yeah. What I'm saying is that if you know if you're working with your doctor and medication is helping,
Hmm.
then do not feel ashamed that medication
Absolutely.
is helping at
Absolutely.
all, at all. So wow, Zay, this
Yeah,
is,
I think that's part of. I'm sorry. You just
no,
brought up
go
this
ahead.
thought and this conversation I have with a friend of mine is that it brings up this false narrative that floats around in some of these spiritual communities of just like you have to be like this kind of so pure and not anti-traditional medicine and just like no, I'm not doing any kind of thing, no foreign chemicals or substances in my body. And then there's this sense of guilt and shame and like
Yes.
this almost just the surreal disgust or disappointment. Just somehow that sense comes over you where you're carrying this weight of all these other people of what should be. And again, the healing journey needs to be your own. It needs to be something you feel empowered in. It needs to be something that you feel an active participant in. It needs to be something that you're conducting. And you don't have to take upon that weight and that shame and like if I do this then I'm not really spiritual anymore, or oh they're gonna judge me in the groups or these different communities. um no. For anybody who would do such a thing, that is them all in their ego anyway.
Yeah, that's just judgment in itself.
Absolutely.
Plain judgment,
Absolutely.
plain
um
judgment, and I've seen that.
Judgment,
I've seen that
fear, all sorts
in
of, yeah.
I've
But
seen that
it,
in the spiritual communities on Facebook. I've seen it, and it's like, okay, my spiritual and physical journey is not yours, and yours
mhm,
is not mine. Therefore, I try my best not to judge yours,
yeah,
although sometimes things do trigger, out of nowhere you get triggered by something. I try my best
right.
not to. And if
And
I
if it
do,
happens, we try to learn from it, right?
yeah, and if I do, then it's like, okay, sit down and let's figure out why we're getting triggered by this. Um,
But I would also say that goes both ways. What I'm saying, I think Rachel, I see it says, for you, holistic is the way. Again, you have to be in control of that. I think if you're physically capable of maintaining holistic and keeping it clean and 100% straight edge all the way, and I love that. That's wonderful. So it's definitely not like oh yeah, some people should take their medicines and whatever, whatever, and that's like an attack on people who want to be holistic all the way, or even people who want to be traditional all the way. If that is your choice and that's the path you're choosing to walk, there's nothing wrong with that. Just take that judgment and
exactly.
shame off. That's all I'm
Yes, exactly.
saying.
Exactly.
Hmm.
So what are some of the things that you do, daily practices that you do that help you through your self-healing?
Well, I mean, you just said one right there. I have daily practices.
Daily
A lot like
practices.
my group on Facebook, which I'll come in. I try to get in there every month and do like a good 2 week cycle of
Is that six spirits? Is that it?
no. Six Spirits is something else. Daily Practices is its own individual group that I'm running. It's a very small thing, but people whoever wants to join can join it when it's open house. And then when we're doing an active cycle, these 2 week cycles that I do every month, we kind of close down, opening it up for people. And it's just for that 2 weeks, an intensive, just like not even an intensive, but it's a safe container of just us who are in that group who wants to do our own daily practices. I'll come in, I'll do a couple of short guided breath works or meditations throughout the week. We have some other teachers and guides in the group who will come in and share their own offerings. Jimmy Bronwyn. So it's a nice, cool little thing that we do every so often. It's about time that we get another cycle going, so I'll probably have to talk to them soon. But things have been I've been focusing on me and my healing in the last like month or so. So, and it's with good reason, right? And get my vision back, healing other things. So,
Absolutely. You're doing it.
yes,
You're
yes.
doing it. You're
So sometimes
acting
we got
into
to
it.
do that. We got to step away sometimes. Take extra time to rest. Or take all these little things add up. It's not just the medicines or the major operations or whatever, but it's the day to day choosing to drink water or choosing to um, get up and go for that walk or whatever you can do, right? Like all those little elements and efforts are cumulative and add towards like a healthier, just adds towards healing in your body and in your life.
Ada says it's a great group and awesome meditations. So, do you incorporate meditation daily?
I try. I don't. I'm not gonna say I do it daily, but I'll come in and I'll do. I've actually taken to doing a little bit of a breath work meditation combination technique, and I'll do a lot of those. And those are mostly daily, but might be every other day, something like that.
Okay. Okay.
But personally, I personally make the effort to meditate every day. When I'm sick or when I'm going through something heavy, I kind of fall off on that. I've learned to be better and have compassion with myself for that because that's just like the other thing, just like, oh no, I fell off my meditation.
Yeah.
Start
Yeah.
scolding myself. But I've learned to have more compassion with that. And just, if I got to take a couple days, weeks, or even months off, but I always come back to it because it just kind of feeds me and it kind of keeps me, going.
Yeah. Yeah. So you are, no, I'm not going to say you are. Are you? Thank you. Are you into breath work?
Yes, I
Yes.
am into breath work. I do enjoy it. I'm a breath work practitioner, but I don't necessarily. Well, I haven't started doing exclusive like sessions, like breathwork sessions or anything like that. I'll just use it in my general sharings or when I guide groups. I'll bring out some basic breathwork techniques. Um, but yeah, I find it a valuable tool and resource, like meditation, breath work, um, physical activity if you can. I'm easing up on myself with that when I have to, because I usually try to push myself into something like that. Water, hydration, these are like basic basics. And then I I myself kind of do intermittent fasting, but there are times where I do need a little something, break through something in the morning, so I might have coffee and like what do you call them? Not a biscuit, bagel, coffee and like half a bagel or something. For the most part, like the intermittent fasting works for me because like I'm really a night owl and it just like it's easier to get a decent sized meal middle of the day towards like evening time and then just chill out. And then for my body, that's always served me best. But I'm always willing to change that whenever
Um,
my body tells me otherwise. Like I gave up red meat for a long while, for a good many years, and recently I just started eating it a little bit more regularly, just because my body has been craving a little bit more protein and iron, and like I could feel that in my blood, I could feel that internally. And when you start just naturally craving a burger every now and again, or craving like something heartier, um, that's for a reason. But for the longest while, my body was like really like just like nah, it made me feel too heavy, too sedentary, and I still don't really eat it. But like every now and again, every 2, 3 weeks, I might have me a little something. So I'm willing to change. I'm not just rigid in
yeah.
my
Right.
approach. Yeah,
Right.
because
That's
we're
good
always in
because
flux.
yeah, and you're paying attention to your intuition.
Yes.
You're
Eh,
definitely paying attention to your intuition and your body telling you what you need and what you don't need. So that's really good.
I never
So
thought about that. It is
that's
really good intuition practice.
yes, it
Listen to your
is. It
body.
is. It is. My body tells me when I'm feeling sluggish to drink lemon water.
Exactly.
It works for
Exactly.
me. It works for me. It might not work for somebody else, but if I wake up and I feel like brain fog, I think that's what everybody's calling it these days, brain fog. Okay.
Yeah.
My body is saying, Kimmy, get your butt up and get some lemon water in you now.
Yeah. See,
And
it's
I
important to
do.
listen.
And I
Absolutely.
do. Yeah. And then I'm, by afternoon, the brain fog is gone and I'm feeling pretty darn good.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Um,
Get that flush in the morning.
yeah, my body, I have to watch my salt intake because I get
Hmm.
bloated from too much salt,
Right. Once you
so
get that cognitive knowledge, like you like, oh, this is what's happening, it becomes more like, okay, I need to do this, or I need to check that.
yeah.
I've been getting more like inflammation, and my acupuncturist, she tells me like, get on the anti-inflammatory diet, or when I fall off, like which is like a lot of leafy greens and low sodium and like low carbs, low white carbs or whatever, but just anti-inflammatory, so I'm not swelling up and getting like ulcers. Excuse my language. Uh,
Just be
but yeah.
yourself, Zay. Be yourself. Yeah. Inflammation, my body knows at this point that if my knees are hurting or something, I have to add the turmeric back into my diet.
I love turmeric. Yes, love turmeric. I've been buying the pills recently just as a shortcut because I didn't want to stop once I got on the turmeric, and but sometimes it could be a lot, like putting it in your water or making tea, whatever, everything being stained orange. So I started buying the pills
I,
from Walmart
I,
or whatever.
I've convinced myself that my food looks pretty that color.
I get annoyed with like my dishes. Sometimes I'll get some of the bowls will get stained,
Yeah.
but like I'll try to. That's because I get creative and we try to make Indian dishes. But but yeah, turmeric's good. I love the turmeric. It's great for anti-inflammatory. It's a great pain reliever as well. When you mix it with a little bit of ginger and a little bit of pepper, um,
Yes. Yes.
that's a good pain remedy. But yeah, turmeric's great.
Yeah, I love it. I do love the color. I make home fries
Oh, nice. That sounds
with
delicious.
onions and peppers and the
I can
potatoes
smell
and
it now. I'm
olive
smelling it.
oil and garlic and the whole
I'm
nine
hungry.
yards. And
You're making me hungry.
then I make that turmeric in there, and it makes it such a pretty yellow color.
It sounds yummy.
It's one
I
of
don't
my
know. You
go.
might have just given me some ideas.
It's a good meal. It's a good meal, trust me. So,
I'm gonna
is
have to
there?
watch this back just to get the recipe. Did she say onions?
I'll send you the recipe. So is there any one thing that you yourself would recommend to anybody watching this now, or for anybody in the future watching this, that would help them on their own self-healing path?
Besides the stuff that we said, like listening to your
I
body.
Yeah, we said a lot. Yeah, any one main thing. One main thing.
One main thing. Oh, for healing. Whew. I don't know. I just hear spirit in my head saying, just allow it.
Just
And
allow it.
that's really like you'll be surprised how much resistance we put up to our own healing day to day.
That's true.
We might not want to ask for help. We might not want to be a burden, so we don't want to take that time to rest, or we don't want to feel like we're slacking in our duties, or we don't. So we put all this stuff on ourselves, or um, we get certain opportunities. Maybe a certain treatment comes along, but we don't really want to take the chance of finding out or having a conversation for whatever reason, like we put up a lot of resistance to our own healing. So the first step I would think was just to be open to all the different ways healing can come into your life and allowing it. Whether that's some somebody coming into your life that's offering you more support, or whether that's like your doctors telling you there is a new potential cure if you're willing to meet with the specialist or something, right? Like however human, however healing might be coming towards you, be open to it. I think that,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. I think this has been very, very enlightening. Um, I absolutely love this.
I
That
have fun.
yeah, and have fun with it, right? I think this has been very enlightening, and to me, the different ways that people are self healing um,
Hmm.
is just amazing. It's just
Yeah,
amazing to me.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah, I'm going to ask you one more question.
Let's go. I'm here.
Okay. When you're having a down day or an off day, what is the most important thing for you to do?
I'm having a down day or an off day. Probably rest. It's probably something really basic. Um, Oftentimes rest because depending on like usually generally the state of my body, my mind body connection is what affects my mood, right? So like if I make sure all the needs are addressed, I'm able to kind of maintain homeostasis, so to speak. So I rested it enough, if I fed it enough, if it's depleted of whatever, and if I've drank enough as far as thirst. Um, Once I've met those needs, I'm able to usually coast through whatever. Sometimes like if I'm too tired, then that might make me grumpy. Also, if I'm in pain, that's gonna make me grumpy or more irritable.
Right.
So just kind of having that understanding and seeing what's going on there when it comes up. What's going on? Why am I bugging out like this? Which I'm always asking myself. You can ask people around me. Everybody will tell you like I'm not as high vibe as I might seem.
Oh, so I would say probably also being compassionate to yourself would be important on a down day.
Oh, absolutely. Very
Yeah,
compassionate to
don't
yourself.
beat yourself up. It's okay to have a down day, you know?
Yes, it's definitely okay. It's human. So all that is working against yourself. That's just like tearing apart the work you're trying to do as you're healing, right? We want to be able to just allow that healing by being compassionate with ourselves, by loving ourselves through it. It's the only
Yeah.
way to.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like a thing about being a spiritual powerhouse that really triggers me.
What do
It
you
really,
mean?
really triggers me. And it's like, um, we're in a human body, so we are going to have off days.
Absolutely.
We are, we do not have to be, oh, I've got this. You know what I mean? 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. That's just mind
Exhausting.
blowing. Yeah,
It's exhausting.
yeah,
No, no. Sometimes it's okay to be vulnerable, and sometimes it's okay to let yourself go with the flow. Um, and be present with what is. That's life. That's that life experience. It's the gamut. It's not just here, but it's like you're gonna get it all. There's gonna be bad days, but there'll be good days too if
yeah.
you continue to just walk the
Mama
path.
said there'll be days like this, right?
I like
So
that song.
I love that song. So I'm going to see if anybody has any questions for you.
Sure.
So if you guys have any questions for Zay, post them now.
Other forms of healing that I didn't mention, like Reiki. I'm a big Reiki practitioner, and I do faith-based healing, also hands-on healing, which I've been kind of training in with a pastor here in New York. But it's just kind of an enhancement of my Reiki, and then just working with spirit because I'm a channeler as well. I
Mm-hmm.
used to channel a lot more. I don't channel anything other than my higher self and source, divine. I really keep it. I really just keep it there. Um, but just in that, I've been learning how to use my internal energy wells to kind of create healing within the body and to kind of help generate and stir the energy wells of others. I'll do in certain sessions, things like that. So, um, again, healing comes in all forms and shapes and fashions, and we're all capable of doing it. Um, we're all connected to our own energy body and our energy vessels, our own guides, higher selves, etc. So I can't read too well, Kimmy. If you can read that to me.
Yes, I will. I put it up there so I could see it.
Okay.
How do you discern what is bothering you when you recognize that you are out of alignment, maybe feeling grumpy, etc.?
Wow. Well, first of all, I would say recognizing you're out of alignment might be enough. Sometimes you don't always need to be able to discern. I'm not always able to discern. Sometimes I'm just like, I don't know what's going on, but I know something's going on. And in that, I'm just like, I'm gonna go lay down, or I'm gonna go chill, or whatever. And so sometimes that's enough, just the simple awareness that you're off for whatever particular reason. Usually, when I'm able to do that, it's going to come to me eventually as I start to decompress, as I start to detach. Um, those insights will come if they haven't come with me just initially thinking or probing. Like, if I haven't been like, what is going on with me? My stomach has been cramping enough. There's a lot of gas. Oh, I'm probably really hungry. Oh, maybe if I get something to eat, I'll calm down. Or maybe I'm hungry, and like I'll go get a sandwich or something. Just like I need a couple minutes. Just don't ask me no questions.
So, so let's see. Gina wants to know if you've ever tried magnet healing. Magnet.
No, but I've used crystals, and some of the crystals I've used have magnets in them, like magnetic properties, like pyrite. Pyrite is, and so I've gotten that. And I also use like copper wiring stuff and spiritual wrap stuff, and so some of those tools I have magnets in them. I have jewelry that has magnet stuff in it with crystals that I'll use as a wand over the body, which I find useful on an energetic level. If I really want to feel like kind of pulling something outward or more for like detoxifying, pulling out some negative kind of energy, pulling it out of that space, pulling it downward and pulling it more towards the, not necessarily pulling it
Right.
out.
Right.
Directing it, helping to direct it.
Yeah. Megan said thank you. um, there was
Well,
something
I
else.
hope my advice helps.
Oops. Don't want to do that. How do you know whether ego thinks it's our true self and essence? How do you know whether ego thinks it's our true self and essence? You
How
might,
do you,
Antonio, could you just elaborate a little bit more on that one? I know ego is, um, when something's scary, ego likes to go into fight or flight or rabbit mode.
mm-hmm.
And by rabbit mode, I mean it's like freeze, stand still,
Right.
don't do anything. Um, Let me see. With balancing our heart and mind.
So how do we know the ego? How do you know whether ego thinks it's our true self in essence?
with
Well, I
balancing
think
your heart and mind. So
I
I
think
would, yeah,
ego just thinks does is gonna think that. I think there's that part of you that is able to step outside of that and question and ponder something else or something more. But I think ego itself, because of what it is, like I like to associate ego with identity, with that particular point of view. But you're taking such firm ownership of this point of view. It's my point of view, it is truth. In this truth, everything I speak is righteousness. But when you're able to step outside of that, step outside of ego, you can see that's perspective as opposed to truth. And so you there creates more of that detachment. But I think innately as identity, I am Zay. Zay speaking. I'm naturally taking that assumption that I am the primary or I am that ultimate being. But when you start to step outside of that, say, is there something more? Okay, there's Zay, but there you start to see that there is something more. And there's a deeper perspective. And there's a perspective that is more in harmony with all that is and not just in solidarity with all I am choosing to be at this particular moment in time. Because humans are kind of flaky. I could choose to be something else tomorrow.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I kind of associate ego with being the response system,
Hmm.
if that makes sense. You know, like I said, fight, flight, freeze. Um,
Hmm.
it's going to always be with you. You can't get rid of it, but you can convince yourself that it's okay.
I
You
think of
know,
that more as like instinct. That's almost close to intuition, but it's more like the physical body's version of intuition.
there we
Whereas
go.
intuition is more from spirit, more from that, etheric plane, instinct, just raw, primal, physical vessel instinct. Oh, something's coming, danger! Like
Yeah.
it's that. Oh, freeze!
Uh, oh. So this has been really great, Zay, and I'm
Thank you,
I'm
Jimmy. This
trying
was
to
fun.
keep these about an hour. You know, I know I lose attention span when they're any longer than that. I do.
True.
I have to shut them off and go back later. And a lot of times I never go back for the later. So I'm trying to keep these around about an hour. And yes, Heather, keeping the physical body safe. Yeah. Um, I thank you so very much for coming today.
Mhm.
I'm sending you love and blessings for your
Thank
healing
you.
journey.
Same to
Um,
you.
I absolutely adore you. You're a
Thank you.
great person.
Maybe
Oh,
you can have me back. We can come back and have another conversation another time. This is a lot of fun.
absolutely, absolutely. And let people know where to find you, honey. Okay.
Oh yeah, sure. So if you don't know, you can find me on my page, ZP, the I am. I am that I am, as you are that you are, for we are all that we are. But you can find me on YouTube, ZP the I am.
You went muted. You're muted, honey. What happened? Oh no. All right. I don't know if Zay is going to try to come back. I think he is, but we shall see. Anyway, this has been amazing, amazing, and amazing. And Monday, um, 1 minute. I'm going to get my calendar. This is my lovely calendar. I asked my son to stop at the dollar store and pick me up a calendar, and um, all they had was for July on. So I'm using, here he is. Here he is.
Hey, Kimmy.
There we go. So I'm using little sticky notes on my calendar because this is from July on. And Monday we have John Thaddeus Fiore and his self-healing journey. And
Oh, nice.
that is going to be 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On Friday, April 21st, we have Renee at 12 p.m. Eastern. On Monday,
Kimmy, I'm gonna jump off for a minute, right? If you're still on, I want to get back. Just give me 2 minutes, okay?
okay.
Okay.
On Monday, we have Linda Ernest at 3 p.m. Eastern. And on Wednesday, the 26th, we have C. Megan Michael with her self-healing journey. This has been, and I've only done 2 so far. This has been amazing. And I am so looking forward to doing more of these. I don't know where this is going. Like I said during the first one, this is stepping out of my own comfort zone. I've never done interviews in my life. It's fun. It's very enlightening how everybody does things so differently. And I'm just looking forward to the next couple of ones. This is like so great. What is today? Today's Friday. So Monday at 7 p.m. with John Thaddeus Fiore. And we'll take it from there. I don't know. I am still doing private readings via Facebook, okay? Messenger. I'm doing written. I will put you down, Dina. Message me, okay? That way I won't forget. I'm still doing written readings. If anybody is interested in a personal written reading, I have promos up in the featured section of Rainbow Journey of what I'm doing. I usually do have some kind of daily special going on. If anybody is here that or in the future that's watching this, and they need help and they do not have money, don't worry about that. Okay. Just, message me and we will work something out. Okay. All right. Let's see. What else? Oh, yes. My archetype readings. Okay. They are out of this world amazing. I have been given a beautiful gift, and I'm not spouting myself. Okay. But this part is true. I can see pathways. Okay. I can see pathways. And I can see how to get from A, B to C to D. And these are what my readings are about, okay? They're pathways from spirit for you, okay? For you. Okay, so that's what I do. Those are best done in private readings. Absolutely best done in private readings. So if anybody watching this now or in the future would like a private reading, you hit me up in Messenger. Okay. I'm going to wait for Zay for another minute. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you. Thank you. I had an archetype reading with Kimmy. It was very helpful. They show you what archetypes you are working with right now, which one is the main one, which one is hindering you, and how to come out of that. Thank you, Miranda. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, guys. Thank you. Um, yeah, they are amazing. And those are they're written. They take me a little bit of time to do because I have to do a little bit of research on the archetypes themselves. And thank you, Linda. Thank you. Anyway, they are $25 right now, and part of that is going to Lauren Riley to get her book done. Okay, so if anybody wants one of those, hit me up in Messenger. I don't think Zay is going to come back. So we're going to end this now. I got to turn my air back on. I'm dying, guys. Oh, there he is. There he is. There he is.
I am so sorry about that.
Okay, that's all right. I got all my spiel out, so now you can tell everybody your spiel, and we'll be good to go.
Oh, well, I just want to thank you for having me on the show today. And
Oh,
it was great to have the conversation with everybody here. If I don't know you, feel free to follow me on my page, ZPDIM. And I'm gonna be popping up in the group more often. I haven't really been too active, especially recently on Facebook in general, but I will pop in the group more. Maybe we can do more of these in the future.
absolutely, absolutely. It was great having you. I'm sending love to all you guys out there. I love you all, and remember to always encourage each other and lift each other up.
I
Have
love
a good
that.
night.
Lots of love, lots of blessings. Peace.